What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. My name is Kyle Yates. I will be with you for the next hour answering your start-sit questions, your fantasy football questions as we get ready for your Week 6 matchups. I've got some things that I need to go over before we get into the Q&A here. And of course, the first thing that we have to talk about is if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take 2 seconds out of your day. It's at the bottom of the screen. Hit the subscribe button. Helps us out in a huge way. Also hit the like button on this video as well. And then again, you can find and follow me on Twitter at KyleYNFL. I'm also on Instagram as well at KyleYNFL. I'm going to go over some of the inactives and actives expected to play game time decisions. We're going to go over that, and then we'll get into your question and answer. Let's go through these and try to fly through them so that way we can get to your questions. Of course, ruled out, one of the big dominoes this week is Dalvin Cook. Obviously, the Minnesota Vikings running back, he is ruled out for this matchup. And I expect Alexander Mattison. I have Alexander Mattison at running back 3 on the week right now. I expect him to absolutely go off in this matchup. He's going to see a ton of work and should be a fine play this week with ridiculous upside. So I expect if you have Alexander Mattison, if you drafted him, if you held on to him this entire time, he needs to be in your starting lineup. No matter who the decision is up against, he needs to be in your starting lineup this week. Dawson Knox, the tight end for the Buffalo Bills, is ruled out. He isn't really fantasy relevant. Christian McCaffrey ruled out. I do expect him to come back next week. We'll, of course, keep you up to date as we get more news there. Curtis Samuel, the wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, is ruled out. This is not necessarily anything that you were really relying on Curtis Samuel, at least that you shouldn't have been. But yet this does bump up Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore slightly. So Robbie Anderson, of course, is the wide receiver 1 in Carolina. We can't dispute that. DJ Moore had a great game last week, but he broke away a long touchdown, only 5 targets. So in this game, I have Robbie Anderson just inside my top 12, and I have DJ Moore now at wide receiver 27 on the week. I'm sure that we will get a ton of questions about DJ Moore and exactly who you should be playing him over, but I'm still viewing him as a wide receiver 3 against a very, very tough matchup against the Chicago Bears pass defense, okay? KJ Hamler, the wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, ruled out. Noah Fant, we thought he was going to be coming back this week. He's going to wait out one more week, I believe, and so we should expect to see him on the field next week, but he is ruled out for this matchup. Make sure he is out of your starting lineup. Jordan Akins, Mo Alley Cox, 2 tight ends. Those are both ruled out. Trey Burton gets a slight bump up in this game, but I do not expect the Indianapolis Colts to be throwing the ball a ton, so I don't think that you should be relying on Trey Burton, but again, he's one of those guys. I think he landed at 18 in my rankings off the top of my head. I got that you really shouldn't be looking to start, but if you are absolutely desperate, you can plug him in. Sammy Watkins, the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, he is out. This now boosts up Mecole Hardman into a top 36 play. I have him just inside that territory in my rankings. And then Demarcus Robinson. If you are desperate and you need a flex play, I believe that you can roll out Demarcus Robinson in this matchup. Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the New York Jets, of course, out one more week. We get the Joe Flacco experience one more week. Alshon Jeffrey, Deshawn Jackson, yet again, they are out for this matchup. Greg Ward is someone that you can roll into your lineup as a borderline flex play, a borderline wide receiver 3 flex play in full PPR leagues. Travis Fulgham, it's a risky play. You can roll out Fulgham, but again, I think he's at 47 in my rankings. He's not someone that I'm necessarily super excited to roll out in this matchup against the Baltimore Ravens defense, and I'm not expecting great things from this Philadelphia Eagles offense. So I'm looking to go elsewhere if I am absolutely, if I can. If I'm absolutely forced into playing Fulgham, then I'll be fine with that, but again, only as a flex play and expecting that type of production. Deonte Johnson, the wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he is out for this game as well. Juju Smith-Schuster is a solid wide receiver 2. And then Chase Claypool moves up to a solid wide receiver 3 in my rankings. I think you can roll him out. James Washington, I really wouldn't be looking at him. Eric Ebron, also this benefits him. He should be someone that you can roll into your lineup confidently. Melvin Gordon, the running back for the Denver Broncos, this is not related to his DUI that happened earlier on in the week. This is a illness. It sounds like strep throat the last thing that I saw. So Melvin Gordon, get him out of your lineup. This boosts Phillip Lindsay up into a top 24 play. Royce Freeman as a desperation play. Not really excited to roll him out, but I think you can. But Phillip Lindsay is the one who absolutely benefits here. Austin Eckler and Nick Chubb, of course, we've been without them for a couple weeks. They are still out. Expected to play, we get Julio Jones back this week. This is bizarre. I was not projecting him to play this week, but yet here we are. Julio Jones coming back, and he should be in your lineup as a wide receiver 2. I think that there are some people who are a little bit more optimistic on Julio Jones this week. I want to wait because the last time we saw Julio on the field, he didn't look great. And so if he's coming back and playing, I don't know just where he's at. So I want to temper expectations there. I'm expecting wide receiver 2 production, but of course, it's Julio Jones. He belongs in your starting lineup. Hayden Hurst is expected to play as well. He's nothing more than a high-end Titan 2, low-end Titan 1. Russell Gage, again, with Atlanta, has no injury designation for this game. He's in your, he's starting, but he should not be in your fantasy football lineup. He has done nothing over the past couple weeks. Miles Boykin, wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, not in your starting lineup. Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. He is in your starting lineup as a high upside wide receiver too. Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry. Again, all three of those guys for Cleveland had question marks coming into this game. All three are expected to play. Jarvis Landry as a wide receiver 3. Baker Mayfield, I wouldn't be looking to stream him in this matchup. Adrian Peterson, expected to play in this game. Just came out that he had some blood work done that was potentially concerned about appendicitis. Everything looks good to go, and I have AP as a top 24 running back this week. Welcome to week 6 of 2020, where we're talking about Adrian Peterson as a solid play. So if you are looking at a bye week fill-in, you needed an option, I think you can plug in Adrian Peterson. He's going to get work in this matchup. DJ Chark, this was a surprise. He is expected to play. I have DJ Chark just inside my top 24 wide receivers. He comes with a wide range of outcomes, though. If you are looking at a player that you just want safe production, so he just slid right in front of Jamison Crowder in my rankings. So if I am forced deciding between those two players and I need safety, I just know that I can get my guaranteed points with Jamison Crowder, I'm going to go with Crowder. Chark has ridiculous upside, of course, and especially in this matchup, but he also has the potential that he's out there as a decoy. He's out there on a snap count. We just don't know. So I think you need to be considering that he's at wide receiver 24 in my rankings, and I would be, again, it all depends on who you have to play, but I'm sure that we'll get to some of those questions too. John Brown is expected to play. It's a Monday night game, so you have to hedge here a little bit. I am playing John Brown as of right now in a couple of leagues. However, I've made the move to pick up Cedric Wilson as a backup plan just in case John Brown is not ready to go. He was the only available option for me as far as a Monday night game that I could pivot to. Don't feel great about that, but yeah, I do expect John Brown to play. However, I am hedging there and just making sure that I have a backup plan in place. Julian Edelman, expected to play as a wide receiver. He'll be plugged in as a wide receiver 3. Darius Slayton as a wide receiver 3 as well, expected to play. Brashad Perryman, do not play him, please. Leonard Fournette, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It sounds like he's not going to be 100%. I wouldn't roll him in, but again, bye weeks you may be forced into. I'm just not expecting a ton of production here. And Drew Lock is expected to come back this week. This is a boost for Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and Philip Lindsay. Those are really the only main options. Obviously, if we had KJ Hamler on the field, Noah Fant, they would benefit as well. But we should see some good things from this Denver Broncos offense, even in a tough matchup. Game time decision, Jeff Wilson. Not expecting good things from Jeff Wilson, even if he does play. So you should be looking elsewhere, okay? All right, let's get into some of these questions here. I've got a big list, so let's just go through them. Here we go. Aaron Mullen, full PPR. Start Landry or Lamb this week? I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb. I think that you can start CeeDee Lamb as a solid wide receiver too. I have Jarvis Landry just outside that territory. I have him down my rankings just a little bit. So I have CeeDee Lamb. Put this into context. I have CeeDee Lamb at 21. I have Jarvis Landry at 32. Scott Smith, Shenault, Kirk, or Lindsey in the flex in a full PPR. Philip Lindsay's going to get work. It's just it's a tough matchup. I might go Laviska Shenault here, even with DJ Chark coming back. I think that Shenault is going to be involved enough in this offense. It would be between Shenault and Lindsay for me. Kirk is a low-end wide receiver 3 in my rankings. Lindsay just inside the top 24 running back. In a full PPR, I might give the edge there to the wide receiver. I think that Royce Freeman can be a factor in the passing game and take away some work from Philip Lindsay. So I will go with Laviska Shenault. Nicholas, Nolan, Lindsay, and Robinson. I'm assuming that's Lindsay or Robinson. I will go with James Robinson. I have James Robinson as a top 10 back this week. I have Philip Lindsay at 23. Noah K, Edelman, or T.Y. in the flex. Edelman for sure. I'm not looking to play T.Y. Hilton in this game just because I don't expect the Colts staff to throw the ball, which just limits T.Y. Hilton's ceiling. HR, Aaron Rodgers, or Watson. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers here, even in a tougher matchup. I have Rodgers. Let me put it into context. I have Rodgers at 9. I have Deshaun Watson at 10. So back-to-back, I'm fine with either one of them. Go with your gut, but I personally would be playing Aaron Rodgers. Sheldon Cuthill, Peterson, or Dearness Johnson. AP for sure. Julio Jones or Galladay. I will go with Galladay here. I have Galladay as a top 12. Pulling this up. I have Galladay at 8 right now, guys. I have Julio Jones at 15. Okay, so I think that Julio comes with a few more questions that if he's healthy, if he's fully healthy, and we see the version of Matt Ryan that we've seen before, then absolutely plug in Julio Jones as a top 12 or top 5 option. But yet, we don't know that yet. So I think with Galladay, he's a little bit more safe in a high over-under game that could turn into a shootout and has a great corner matchup. So I'm going to go with Kenny Galladay there. Sean Parsons, Cousins, or Dalton? Cousins for sure. I have Cousins at 7 last time I checked. Pulling it up. Kirk Cousins at 7, Andy Dalton at 16. So it's not even close for me. I'm playing Kirk Cousins. Brian K, Montgomery, or Mostert? I'm going to go with Montgomery here, guys. Montgomery up against the 32nd ranked run defense in the NFL. I expect that the Bears are going to want to get the run game going, which opens up everything else for Nick Foles in the passing game. I expect Montgomery to get a ton of work on the ground in this one, but then also he's been seeing 6-8 targets. The past couple weeks. So I think he comes with a safe floor. Mostert can easily break off a 70-yard touchdown run, but I just don't want to bet on that. So I do have Mostert ranked pretty high. I have him at, I think, 16. I have David Montgomery at 8, guys, and I have Raheem Mostert at 17. So I'm going to go Montgomery there. Brandon Black, Justin Jefferson, or DJ Moore? Justin Jefferson for sure. For me, I have him at 13. I have DJ Moore at 27. Harold C. Ingram, Mark Ingram, Chase Edmonds, or Darrell Henderson. You need 2 in a standard league. My rankings say to play Mark Ingram and Darrell Henderson, but I don't feel great about it. Chase Edmonds, the thing with Chase Edmonds is that he's only seeing 9-10 touches a week. He's breaking away these big plays. He's looked great. I'm not going to deny that. But yet, and he's been able to find the end zone on his limited touches. So I guess if you want to bet on anything, if it was a half PPR or full PPR, I would be going with Edmonds because of his work in the receiving game. However, if it's with a standard league, Ingram's probably going to see more carries, which isn't saying much. So I'm going to go with Henderson and Ingram here, but I don't feel great about it. Tyson Briggs, Edmonds, or Drake this week? Drake. A Drake at 22 in my rankings. 21, and I have Chase Edmonds at 30. So I'm going to go with Drake in a half PPR. TGF Godwin or Kirk? Chris Godwin for sure. Carlos Jr., Cam or Big Ben? Cam Newton for sure. I have Cam at QB3 on the week. So pretty optimistic on Cam Newton coming back into the lineup. Jesse Milligan, hey, love the show. Fuller or Claypool in a half PPR? I'm going to go Fuller here. Obviously, Fuller has a wide range of outcomes every single week, but yet in this matchup, I really like Fuller. I'll go with him over Claypool. Robert Sutherland, this is my first time tuning into the live stream. Welcome. OBJ or Debo, full point PPR. You got to go OBJ, and that's not close for me. I have Odell Beckham Jr. at 16, and I have Debo Samuel at 41. So there we go. Nathan Tan in the flex, Hollywood or Jonnu? I'm going to go Jonnu Smith. I think Hollywood has a wide range of outcomes every single week. Jonnu has been on fire to start the season. It sounds crazy to start a tight end over a wide receiver like Hollywood Brown, and this could easily turn. Hollywood can easily break away a 50-yard touchdown, but Darius Slay, most likely guarding Hollywood Brown, doesn't instill confidence for me here. Hollywood could easily turn in a 2 for 25 game, or he could easily turn in a 6 for 125 and touchdown. So I just think Jonnu, you have to bet on the involvement in the offense and his talent level and the fact that he's been on fire to start the season. So I'm going to go Jonnu there. Mr. Hendricks, Woods, or Anderson in full PPR. I will go with Robbie Anderson there. I have Anderson at 13, and I have Robert Woods at 20. So I will go with Robbie Anderson there. Someone's videos, Mixon or Mike Davis. I will go with, I actually think it might be Mike Davis in my rankings. I have Mike Davis at 6. So I don't feel great about that ranking. It's a fine run defense, right? As far as the Bears without Eddie Goldman up the middle have been taken advantage of this season on the ground. Mike Davis, of course, comes with a fine floor every single week. However, he does not have the ceiling in this game to finish as a as the running back one like he did last week. So I just think Mixon, again, tough matchup for him too. I have Mixon at 13 and I have Mike Davis at 6. So that's crazy. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to go with Mike Davis. I'm going to stick to my rankings. Josh G, pick 2, full PPR. Juju, A.J. Brown, Kupp, or Devontae Parker. A.J. Brown and Devontae Parker for me. I have both of those guys. I have A.J. Brown just outside my top 12. Just inside my top 12, excuse me. I have him at 11, and then I have Devontae Parker at 10, and then Cooper Kupp at 18, and Juju at 17. So all solid options, but as far as who I would be playing personally, I would go with A.J. Brown and Devontae Parker. Ed C, Tanyan or Ertz. You got to go Tanyan there. I'm sitting Zach Ertz if I can. Randy Compton, full PPR. Higgins or Lindsey. I am going to go with Philip Lindsey there. I have Higgins outside my top 36 wide receivers on the week. I still like him. He's just outside there. So I still like him as a flex play, and I think he should be in your lineup. But when you are considering Philip Lindsey, who is going to get guaranteed volume, guaranteed work on the ground in this game, I think you go with Lindsey, and he should see some targets out of the backfield too to offset that. Eli Castle, Matt Ryan, or Andy Dalton. I'm going to go with Matt Ryan, but those guys are probably back-to-back in my rankings. They are. I have Matt Ryan at 15. I have Andy Dalton at 16. So I am going to go with Matt Ryan. Doesn't feel great. I keep saying that. But yet, with Matt Ryan, I think you got to go with him over Andy Dalton, but it's close. Keychain, Gaskin, or Gurley in a full PPR. I'm going to go with Todd Gurley there. Rory Keenan, CeeDee Lamb, Robbie Anderson, or Juju in a standard league. I am going to go with Robbie Anderson. Luke McDaniel, McLaurin, Fuller, OBJ, half-point PPR. So Terry McLaurin, Will Fuller, or Odell Beckham Jr. I'm going to go with OBJ here. I like the matchup for him, and I think that even though I'm not expecting great things from Baker Mayfield, I think that OBJ can get it done in this matchup. Will Fuller, again, wide range of outcomes. I don't want to fully buy into him over someone like OBJ. Frank Dolphins, T. Higgins, or T.Y. Hilton. There's my line. I will go with T. Higgins easily. Nicholas A., Tom Brady, or Joe Burrow. Tom Brady for me. Matthew Neto, PPR, Chark, Fulgham, or Landry. In this situation, I think you play DJ Chark. Fulgham does not have a high ceiling in this matchup against Baltimore's corners. He can shock us like he has the past couple weeks, but the percentage chance of that happening is very, very small. And Landry, I think he's a solid wide receiver 3. DJ Chark comes with ridiculous upside. So as far as my rankings, I have Chark. I think I mentioned again earlier that I have him at 24. I'm at 25, and then I have Jarvis Landry. Where'd he go? 32. So, and then Travis Fulgham's down at 47. All right, where did I go? John D., Mostert, Crowder, or A.J. Brown in full PPR. Mostert, Crowder, or A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown for me. I have Crowder just outside my top 24. I have Mostert at 16 or 17, whatever I said earlier, and then A.J. Brown is a top 12 option at the wide receiver position. So I'm going to play A.J. Brown. LaVisca or Jonnu in the flex in a full PPR. I might go Jonnu again. I think I'm going to double stack it at tight end, and I'm going to roll out Jonnu. LaVisca Chenault, I really like this week. I have him at 30, but I think that Jonnu, until we see him not find the end zone in a game, I think you just got to keep plugging him into your lineup no matter what. Michael V. Standard, flex, Gaskin or Julio. In that situation, I will play Julio. I'll play Julio if I am projected to lose by a ton, because I think that it's Julio. He can obviously score ridiculous points for your lineup, but yet Gaskin comes with a safe floor. So I guess it all depends on what you want and what you need for your lineup and your matchup. So, but personally, I would be playing Julio. Steven Flora, how do you feel about Damian Harris this week? I have Damian Harris as a running back 3. Not super excited about starting him. I think that with Cam Newton coming back, he's going to steal all the goal line touches. So I'm not super excited about plugging in Damian Harris. But again, it's week 6 of 2020 where bye weeks and injuries have hit us really, really hard. So I will be playing him if I'm forced to, but I'm not expecting anything crazy. Dennis P., Chark, or Drake in the flex. I will go with DJ Chark there. I think you have to lean into the matchup, even if he's not 100% healthy. If it was another running back, it would be more of a difficult decision, but with Kenny and Drake and the way he's playing right now, I'll go with DJ Chark. Ivan C., in all caps, help Yates. Laviska Shenault or Brandon Cooks in a full PPR. In that situation, I will go with Laviska Shenault. Brandon Cooks I have at 35, and I have Laviska Shenault at 30. PV, what do you think of James Conner? I have James Conner just inside my top 12 running backs on the week. I think that you can plug him in confidently. Angelo Burris, Parker, or OBJ in a full PPR. In that situation, I'll be playing Devontae Parker. I don't know why ECR has him all the way down. And ECR, again, is expert consensus ranking. Has him all the way down at 24 this week, up against the New York Jets pass defense. Like, Devontae Parker is a locked and loaded, like, plug him into your lineup as a top 12 option. I have him at 10, so get him into your lineup. OBJ, I have at 15 or 16, whatever I said earlier, at 16. So it's close, but I'm going to go with Devontae Parker. Mike B, dynasty question. You lost Dak. Should I trade Tanyan for Minshew or roll with Dalton and Locke? So, Mike, I guess this depends on what format, too. Is it a one-quarterback league? Is it a two-quarterback league? I would assume, since you didn't specify that it's just a one-quarterback league, if you are not relying on Robert Tanyan, then, yeah, sell high. Go get a safe quarterback that you can play matchups, with you can, then rotate in Dalton, Locke, and Minshew and just play the streaming quarterback game within your dynasty roster. Fine with that. But with Tanyan, if you have another solid tight end, which you most likely do, hopefully you didn't go into your season relying on Robert Tanyan. So I think, yeah, sell high. And if you have the depth to support it at the tight end position, then yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Bill Hayes, Higbee, or Gronk. I'm not going anywhere near Tyler Higbee anymore. He's a touchdown-dependent tight end too. So he's just not seeing targets in this offense. He's not running routes. I'm going to go with Gronk. But again, I'm not expecting anything crazy from Gronk, so it's not saying much. Pick six central, Fulgham or Justin Jefferson. That is not even close. It's Justin Jefferson by a mile for me. I have Justin Jefferson at 14, and I have Fulgham at 47. So you play Justin Jefferson there, especially in this matchup. Playboy Dre, Deebo Samuel, or Michael Gallup in the flex. I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel there. I like Gallup, but more so as a wide receiver 3 where you can deal with his potential range of outcomes. We just don't know what this offense is going to look like, full week with Andy Dalton at quarterback. What does it look like? Is Michael Gallup going to be targeted deep downfield? We just don't know. So I think with Deebo Samuel, he's a safer option, but you're hoping that Jimmy Garoppolo can figure out whatever he was doing on the field last week. Dustin H, sit 1, Mixon, Gurley, Jonathan Taylor, and Mike Davis. Gurley is probably going to be the one that I sit there. If I'm looking at my rankings, I talked about Mike Davis at 6, Jonathan Taylor at 5, I think. Pulling it up. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor at 5, and then Joe Mixon at 13. And I have Gurley at 14. So, pretty close. I'm going to go with the workload of Mixon, though, over the scoring upside of Todd Gurley. But again, super close. Sean, Hooper, or Burton. I'm going to go with Austin Hooper. I'm actually buying in to the target totals that he's been seeing recently. I have Austin Hooper at 10, and then I have, who did you say? Trey Burton. I have Trey Burton at 18. So I'm going to go with Austin Hooper there. 10 targets last week. And at the tight end position, that's a boatload comparative to what some of these other options have seen. So I'm going to go with Austin Hooper. Eric S., Kareem Hunt, Jonathan Taylor, Alexander Madison. I think you have listed my 3, 4, and 5 running back on the week. You have. I have Alexander Madison at 3, I have Kareem Hunt at 4, and I have Jonathan Taylor at 5. So I'm going to sit Jonathan Taylor, but congratulations on that lineup. You've got my 3, 4, and 5 running back on the week. Jennifer Farmer, Juju, or Judy in the flex. I'm going to go with Juju Smith-Schuster, especially with Deonte Johnson out. Noah Kravitz, Tom Brady, or Cam Newton. Cam Newton for me pretty easily. Leon Copeland, standard, Chase Claypool, Fulgham, or Edelman. I will go with, I was going to say Edelman there, but I don't think that's correct. I think I moved Chase Claypool up this morning. I have Claypool at 31. I have Julian Edelman at 38, and then I have Fulgham at 47. So I'm playing Chase Claypool. Sean Parsons, Cousins, Dalton, or Bridgewater as a streamer. You got to go Kirk Cousins there. Beth Lothamer, Hurst, or Gesicki in a half PPR. I'm going to go with Mike Gesicki. I have Gesicki at 8. And I have Hurst at 13? Question mark. Gesicki at 8, and then Hurst at 12. Where'd I go? Brad P, Chark, or Lindsey in half PPR. I'm going to go with, I feel like I got this question earlier. And I can't remember what I said. Chark or Lindsey? I'm going to go with DJ Chark. Yeah. I may have just contradicted myself from what I said earlier. I feel like my gut reaction is I'm going to go with DJ Chark. If I need the upside, if I need the safe, guaranteed volume, I'll go with Phillip Lindsay. Michael L. in full PPR, Julio versus Rojo. You need a win, then I'm going with Julio. Swing for the fences. Hectic, tangent, Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. Going to go with Rodgers there. Again, leaning into my rankings, I have Rodgers at 9, Deshaun Watson at 10. Brent Roberts, Frank Gore, or Darius Slayton in the flex. You got to go Darius Slayton there. Even though I have Frank Gore ranked as a top 36 running back. Yeah, I'm at 34. Does not mean that I am rushing out to play Frank Gore. So swing for the fences with Darius Slayton there. Josh G, Cam, or Fitzmagic. Cam Newton for me. I have Cam at 3 and Fitzmagic at 12 last time I checked. Hook'em Cookem, DeAndre Swift or Mark Ingram. I'm going to go with Mark Ingram here. DeAndre Swift, he's just not seeing enough volume for me to buy in. Dan Harris is a little bit more optimistic on him. I'm not. I have DeAndre Swift at RB41 on the week. Yeah, I have him around there. So I'm just not, 43, excuse me. So and then I have Mark Ingram at 28. So, but again, not super excited about either one of them, but if I were in your shoes and I would be looking at those two options, I would be playing Mark Ingram. Alex C, Woods, Juju, or Anderson. I'm going to go with Robbie Anderson. I have Anderson at 13. Robert Woods at 20. And then Juju Smith-Schuster at 17. So I will go with Robbie Anderson there. Indian Gamer, Madison, or Edwards-Helaire at RB2 in a full PPR, Alexander Madison. Jonathan Liu, half PPR, Logan Thomas, or Hurst. Don't go anywhere near Logan Thomas. So there's your answer. Go Hayden Hurst. Interesting. Browns, Myles Garrett just walked over to Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin and put his arm around him. The two talked for about 30 to 45 seconds. That's just the alert that I just got. Interesting. All right. Aaron Carroll, Chase Edmonds, or Leonard Fournette. I will go with Chase Edmonds in that situation. A.J. Brown or Chris Godwin. I will go with A.J. Brown. They're at 11 and 12 in my rankings. A.J. Brown at 11, Godwin at 12. So both great options. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown, though. Mark Clark, Eifert, or Schultz. I will go with Dalton Schultz. Pick one for the flex. Claypool, Robbie Anderson, Todd Gurley, or Darrell Henderson Jr. Pick one for the flex. Robbie Anderson for me. Even though it's not a great matchup, he's just been getting too many targets. And even with Curtis Samuel out now, he could see even more. Excuse me. Peter N., Tanyan, or Hawkinson. I'm going to go with Hawkinson here. I have both of those guys rated pretty highly, but Hawkinson, great matchup. He's seeing the targets in this offense. I have Hawkinson at 5, and I have Tanyan at 6. Ryan B., half-point PPR, pick 2. Robert Woods, Devontae Parker, and Chris Godwin. I'm going to go with Parker and Godwin. Prop Central, Gore or Dobbins in a half PPR. I will go with Frank Gore in that situation. Gross. Tar Heels boy, Allen or Stafford. I'm going to go with Josh Allen in that situation. I have him at 4, and I have Stafford at 6. Julian Frey, half PPR, Galladay or Odell. I will go with Galladay in that situation. And then half PPR, Brandon Cooks or Jarvis Landry. I will go with Landry there, but that's pretty close. I have Landry at 32. And then I have Brandon Cooks at 35. So I'm fine with either one of them. If you want to play the matchup game, then I think you can go Brandon Cooks. But yet, I'm fine rolling out Jarvis Landry. Both of them as a solid wide receiver 3. I want to take this second, guys, to remind you, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Take the 2 seconds out of your day, hit the subscribe button, and then also hit the like button on this video. It would be greatly appreciated. It helps us out in a huge way. And again, as a reminder, you can find and follow me on Twitter at KyleYNFL and also on Instagram at KyleYNFL. All right, I'm going to get back into answering some of these questions. Let's pull this up here. My internet just cut out. So, all right, here we go. All right. In a full PPR, Tim Patrick or Laviska Shenault. I'm going to go with Laviska Shenault there. Jefferson, Gurley, or Connor in the flex in a full point PPR. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson there. I like Todd Gurley and James Conner, but Gurley's not super involved in the offense as far as a receiver out of the backfield. Can't trust that. James Conner is starting to lose some touches to these other backs here. So, again, he comes with a little bit more concern. Justin Jefferson, last week was a weird game. And so I'm expecting in this one, again, you start your wide receivers against Atlanta. So I've got Justin Jefferson at 13. That breaks it for me. All these guys, I've got Connor at 12, Gurley at 14, and then Justin Jefferson at 13 as far as the wide receiver. But in a full point PPR, I'll give the edge to Justin Jefferson, to the receiver there. Got to win this week, Todd Campbell asks. Got to win this week in a close matchup in a PPR flex, Chark or Devontae Freeman? I think if you have some solid options in your wide receiver and running back spots, then I think that Devontae Freeman's not going to lose you your week. You know that you're going to get his 6 targets. He's going to come with a safe floor. I don't think he's going to have as much room to run as he did last week in this matchup against Washington. DJ Chark, if you need to swing for the fences, he's your answer, because I've got him at 24, but he could easily finish within the top 12 if he's healthy, if he's playing his full allotment of snaps, everything. So I think you can go with DJ Chark there if you absolutely need to win your week and swing for the fences, if you're projected to lose by a ton and you've got safe options. If you don't have some safe options, let's say that you've got Darius Slayton in your wide receiver 3 spot, at that point, I would just be looking for the safety. I'd be looking for Devontae Freeman. Hi Yates, new viewer here. Pick one to play. First off, welcome. DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, or Tyler Boyd in a full PPR. Pick one, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, or Tyler Boyd. I'm going to go with DJ Moore there. That's pretty close as far as I've got Moore at 27 and I've got Tyler Boyd at 28. So I think that I'll stick to my rankings. I'll go with DJ Moore. But yeah, those guys are wide receiver 3s in my opinion. Jerry Jeudy's a little bit further down. Fournette or Gore in a non-PPR. Gore is going to get work. We know that. I don't think he's going to do a ton with it, but Fournette, we just don't know. I don't think he's fully healthy. I don't think he's 100%, so are they even going to give him touches in this game? Fournette could leave you with a 0 for 0. Gore doesn't have a ceiling, but he could get you, your 5, 6, 7 points in a non-PPR. Steelers D or the Pats defense. I am going to go with, let me look at my defense rankings. I have the Steelers defense at 6, and then the Patriots, where'd they go? At 4. So I'm going to go with the Patriots there. With Drew Lock, I'm a little bit more concerned, but I think they hold him in check. I think I'll go with the Patriots there. Again at 4 and 6. Claypool, Shenault, or Jeudy in PPR. Simon Miller asks, I will go with Shenault there. I have Shenault at 30, Claypool at 31, and then Jeudy at 38 in my rankings. So I'll go with Shenault. Ryan or Goff, I will go with, I want to say Jared Goff, but I don't think that's right in my rankings. No, I have Goff a little bit further down. I just don't think that they throw the ball a ton in this game. So I will go with Matt Ryan in what promises to be a potential shootout. So I'll go with Matt Ryan there at 15 and then Jared Goff at 19. Full PPR, CeeDee Lamb or Myles Gaskin. In a full PPR, I will go with CeeDee Lamb. Sit one in a half PPR, Phillip Lindsay, Devontae Parker, or Robert Woods. In that instance, I will sit Phillip Lindsay. I want Devontae Parker. Obviously, I've talked about him as a top 12 option. Robert Woods at 20 in my rankings. Phillip Lindsay at 23 in my running back rankings. So I will go with Devontae Parker and Robert Woods. Full PPR, Jonathan Taylor or James Conner. In that situation, I will go with Jonathan Taylor. Chris Wires, James Robinson, or Jonathan Taylor. Full PPR. In a full PPR, I think I might give the edge there to James Robinson, a little bit more involved in the receiving game than Jonathan Taylor. With Jordan Wilkins active, bumps down Jonathan Taylor's ceiling slightly just because the Colts want to utilize their committee of backs here. So it's a little bit concerning, but I still have Jonathan Taylor as a top 5 back. James Robinson gets the nod, though, in a full PPR. Jefferson or Mostert as the flex. I will go with Justin Jefferson there. Was offered Montgomery and Gibson for Gurley. Should I take that trade? Absolutely. Smash accept. Gurley's been producing, but he comes with huge concerns about his injury. At what point during the season does he start to show wear and tear? Montgomery has the arrow pointing up, and so does Gibson. Gibson's walking into some amazing matchups here moving forward. So I want the Montgomery and Gibson, and especially, too, when I can build depth at the running back position right now. Absolutely. Should I try it with Preston Williams over McLaurin in a half PPR? You still play Terry McLaurin here. Preston Williams absolutely could go off in this matchup, but yet you can't trust him. So Terry McLaurin's a reliable, steady option. He's been producing even in tough matchups. Last week was a bit of a fluke because, they went up against a very, very tough Rams pass defense. So I think I'm willing to just write that off and say that you continue to plug in Terry McLaurin. Manny, half PPR, pick one, DJ Moore, Ronald Jones, Hollywood Brown, or Tyler Boyd. I will go with Hollywood Brown here. I think that he comes with a wide range of outcomes, but yeah, I think that you can safely plug in Hollywood Brown over those options. He comes with a higher ceiling, can help you win your week. A half PPR, Dalton Schultz or Irv Smith, projected to lose by 10. I will go with Dalton Schultz here just based on my rankings. I have Schultz at 13, and I have Irv Smith at 16, so I will go with Dalton Schultz. But I'm not going to fault you if you decide to take Irv Smith over. If you decide to take plug in Irv Smith over Dalton Schultz. Irv Smith has the arrow pointing up, Dalton Schultz arrow pointing down after a stinker of a week last week. So I'm not going to fault you, but I'm going to stick to my rankings in answering that question. Hines or McKissick? I'm going to go with Nyheim Hines here. I actually think that he can be pretty involved in this game plan. J.D. McKissick obviously is a safe bye week fill-in, but I have him at 35 in my rankings. I have Hines slightly higher than that. I'll go with Nyheim Hines. Darren Kessler, Minshew, Tannehill, or Derek Carr for the rest of year. For the rest of the season, it's close between Minshew and Tannehill. I might go Tannehill here. Tannehill has been on fire so far. I think that I would give him the nod in that situation over those other two. N'Keal Harry or Tim Patrick in the Standard League. I'll go with Tim Patrick there. Not expecting great things, but yet N'Keal Harry, I don't think you can trust him. Casey Drake or A.J. Brown in a Standard League. I will go with A.J. Brown pretty easily. Fuller, Crowder, Devontae Parker. You need to play 2 of 3 in a full PPR league. I will go with Jamison Crowder and Devontae Parker there. Will Fuller obviously has a high ceiling, but he also has a very low floor. Jamison Crowder, you know what you're going to get, and Devontae Parker has enough boom potential in this game to potentially win you your week single-handedly. So I think you've already got the boom potential with Devontae Parker. I don't think you need to double up and potentially, swing for the fences and miss with Will Fuller. So Jamison Crowder, especially in a full PPR league, I'll go with him. He's going to soak up targets. There's no one else in this offense. Paul Kennedy, choose 2. Julio, Boyd, or A.J. Brown. I will go with Julio and A.J. Brown there. Christopher Cianci, Akers, Hines, and Golden Tate, pick 2. In a full PPR, I will go with Hines and Golden Tate. In a full PPR, Akers is outside my top 36 running backs. Golden Tate probably outside my top 50 running back or wide receivers in half PPR, but in a full PPR, he's not going to lose you your week. I'll go with Golden Tate. Taylor Van Beek, Minshew, Ryan, or Newton, choose 2. I will go with Cam Newton and Gardner Minshew. Dominic, full PPR, Chark, Shenault, or Higgins. I will go with DJ Chark there. Avi Brown, Mostert, or Crowder in a half PPR. I will go with Raheem Mostert in that situation. That's pretty close, though, as far as flex rankings. I think I'll go with Raheem Mostert there. Start 3, full PPR. Miles Sanders, Myles Gaskin, Antonio Gibson, David Montgomery, Ronald Jones, and Mike Davis. Goodness. Okay, start 3, full PPR. Mike Davis for sure. David Montgomery for sure. I have both of those as top 10 running backs. And then Miles Sanders. I don't think that Miles Sanders is in line for a huge game here against the Baltimore Ravens defense, but yet, in comparison with those other options, I still have Miles Sanders ranked higher. So I will go with Mike Davis, David Montgomery, and Miles Sanders. Who do I start? Greg Ward or Travis Fulgham? I'm going to go Greg Ward. Damian Harris or T. Higgins? Rich Serrali asks, Damian Harris or T. Higgins in full PPR? I will go with T. Higgins. McLaurin or Hardman in the Standard League? I'm going to go with McLaurin there. I have McLaurin at I know I have Hardman at 36 or 37 in my wide receiver rankings. McLaurin I have at 23. So I will go with Terry McLaurin. Kirk Cousins or Tannehill. I will go with Kirk Cousins. Justin Jefferson or DJ Moore. With Samuel out, I'll still go with Justin Jefferson. Woods or A.J. Brown in a full PPR. I will go with A.J. Brown. Lamb or McLaurin. Pick one in a full PPR. I will go with C.D. Lamb there slightly. Kevin Dubois, Gibson or McLaurin in the flex in a half PPR. I will go with Terry McLaurin there. Dallas, Halligan, Julio or Robert Woods in a PPR league. I will go with Julio. Yates, the QB legend. Cam or Stafford. I'm going to go with Cam there, but both of those guys I like as top 6 options this week. I have Stafford at 6, I think, and then Cam at 3. Scott Daniels subscribed and liked. Thanks, Scott. Full PPR offered Devontae Parker and Singletary for DJ Moore and Akers. I want Devontae Parker over DJ Moore. I am not crazy about Akers, but I'm also not crazy about Singletary. So I want Devontae Parker, though, over DJ Moore. So I'll go with that. I think it's a huge upgrade at the wide receiver position for fantasy. And then it's a kind of a similar trade for running backs now with Zach Moss most likely back in the lineup today. I haven't heard anything otherwise. But Devin Singletary just kind of takes a hit with Zach Moss back. And Akers, I'm not expecting great things moving forward. So I will take the Devontae Parker and Singletary side of that. Henry asks half PPR, Gibson or Julio. I'm going to go with Julio there. Chance, pick 2, Mixon, James Robinson or Myles Gaskin. I will go with James Robinson and Joe Mixon. Myles Gaskin I have in that same territory, but I have him a little bit further down. I have James Robinson at 10, Joe Mixon at 13, and Myles Gaskin at 16. So I'll stick to my rankings there. Half PPR, Henderson, Akers, Chark, Freeman, or Hardman in the flex. It depends on what I need. Do I need safety? Then I will go with someone like Devontae Freeman. If I need the boom potential, I'll probably go with DJ Chark over Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman would be next. So it really all depends on what I need. I personally, regardless, would probably be playing DJ Chark, but that's super close. I guess it would come down to what I need. But again, I would probably be going DJ Chark. Chase, Ket, Jefferson, or Claypool. I will go with Justin Jefferson there pretty easily. Bucks Zone, FTC, pick 2, PPR, Odell, Terry, DJ Moore, Boyd, and Gibson. So pick 2 in a PPR. I'm going to go with Odell Beckham Jr. for sure, and then I will go with Terry McLaurin. Full PPR flex, Boyd or Lindsey. I will go with Lindsey in that situation. Right, Robert Woods or Chase Edmonds, PPR flex. I will go with Robert Woods there pretty easily. Vince Gillis, Juju Smith-Schuster, Cooper Kupp, or Mark Andrews in a PPR league. That's interesting. I am going to go with Cooper Kupp. Question mark. I have Cooper Kupp at 18. I have Juju Smith-Schuster at 17. And then, of course, Mark Andrews I have as a top 3 tight end. But let me see. Was this in a full PPR? In a full PPR, I'm going to give the edge here to the wide receivers because you're betting on Mark Andrews scoring a touchdown to be able to make up for that. So Andrews, of course, can find the end zone. But yet, in a full PPR, I'm going to give the nod there to Juju Smith-Schuster, stick to my rankings at 17, Cooper Kupp at 18, and then Andrews a little bit further down. Alex Herrera, start 3, Boyd, Edelman, Jefferson, Brandon Cooks. I'm going to start Jefferson, Boyd, and Brandon Cooks. Flex Aaron Jones or Edwards-Helaire in full PPR. I will stick to my rankings. I have Aaron Jones at 7. I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 9. So I'm going to stick to the rankings there and play Aaron Jones. A.J. Brown, McLaurin, or Drake. A.J. Brown, McLaurin, or Drake. I'm going to go A.J. Brown. I have A.J. Brown inside my top 12. Morning Yates from Victor Ramirez. Good morning, Victor. Big Ben, Cam, or Fitz. I'm going to go with Cam Newton. Nick, Sup Yates, full PPR, Chase Edmonds, or Jamal Williams. I will go with Jamal Williams. More touches. I think safer floor in the receiving game. I think they're still going to keep him heavily involved, even with Adams back in the lineup. But again, as nothing more than low-end RB3. Curtis Lansaw, Mixon, or Montgomery in a full PPR. I'm going to go with David Montgomery here, guys. Louis Castro, half PPR, pick 2. Michael Gallup, Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark. I will go with Chark and Shenault. Sal, full PPR, pick 1. Edelman, Robert Woods, or Will Fuller. I will go with Will Fuller in that situation. I think he slides in. Yeah, I have Will Fuller at 19. I have Robert Woods at 20. So, again, it all comes down to what you need. Do you need the safety? Then go with Robert Woods. The guaranteed volume. Do you need the boom potential? Then go with Will Fuller. All right. Joel asks, Juju or Fuller? I'm going to go with Juju there. Stafford or Cousins? I will be going with... I think I have Stafford above Cousins. Yeah, I have Stafford at 6 and Cousins at 7. So I will play Stafford there. All right. Jonnu Smith. Lance asks, Jonnu Smith or DJ Chark in the flex? And then he says, I think I know your answer. Yeah, I'm going to go with Jonnu Smith here. Just because, again, he's safer. DJ Chark, of course, can finish higher, but yet he can also finish way below that. So I think Jonnu Smith, safe play. I'll go with Jonnu. All right. Fitzpatrick, Tannehill, or Dalton? I will go with Fitzpatrick there. I think. Hold on. Yeah, Fitzpatrick at 11, Tannehill at 12, and then Dalton at 16. All right. Pick 2, Woods, Julio Jones, or A.J. Brown. I'm going to play A.J. Brown and Julio Jones there. Zach Moss or Pirine in a deep league. Got to go with Zach Moss. We haven't seen anything from the coaching staff of the Jets, even when Le'Veon Bell was out, to indicate that they want to utilize Pirine. So I'm not going anywhere near him. He's a fine dynasty bench stash or a bench stash in a deep league to see if they wise up, but yet I don't think they're going to. Edmonds or Chark in the flex. I will go with DJ Chark there. Ingram or Jamal Williams in full PPR. You need a win. I'm going to go Ingram there. Every time that his name comes up, you can see the reaction on my face every single time. I have Ingram at 28 and I have Jamal Williams at 29. So I'm not going to fault you at all if you... It's a full PPR. Okay, a full PPR breaks that. So I will go Jamal Williams there. And I'm so happy that I finally have a reason to say that I will sit Mark Ingram. Okay, Nicholas, full PPR, Cam Newton or Gardner Minshew. Cam Newton for me. Eric, in a standard league, Drake, Claypool, or Beckham. I will go with Odell Beckham. Chris Wires, James Robinson, or Jonathan Taylor in a full PPR. I'll go Jonathan Taylor. Stafford, Minshew, or Cousins. I will go with Stafford over Cousins. And then Kupp, McLaurin, or Robbie Anderson. Kupp, McLaurin, or Robbie Anderson. I will go with Robbie Anderson there. A.J. Brown or Marquise Brown rest of season. A.J. Brown for me. Clyde or Gibson. I'm going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire there. Irv Smith over Ertz in a standard league. I am not going to fault you if you want to make that decision. I have Irv Smith 2 spots behind Zach Ertz in my rankings, but I'm recommending Zach Ertz as a sit everywhere if you can. And if you want to take the shot with Irv Smith, then I'm not going to fault you for that. I actually think I'm going to move him right now. I typically don't do that, but I'm going to move Irv Smith right now. I moved Irv Smith to 14. I have Zach Ertz at 15. So play Irv Smith. Henderson or Higgins. I'm assuming that's Darrell Henderson or T. Higgins. I will go with Darrell Henderson in that situation. Crowder or McLaurin in standard. So I will go with Terry McLaurin in that situation. Chase Claypool or Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson for me. Ayuk or Tim Patrick. I'll roll the dice with Ayuk. Both of them are flex plays right now. Low-end flex plays. Not excited about either one of them, but I'll roll the dice with Ayuk. Antonio Gibson or David Johnson. Standard league. I will go... I think I have David Johnson. I have David Johnson at 15 and Antonio Gibson at 20.5 PPR. That really doesn't shift much so in standard, so I'll go with David Johnson. Over Antonio Gibson, half PPR... I answered that question earlier. Robbie Anderson or CD Lamb. Sebastian asks, I will go with Robbie Anderson. Dylan, Claypool, or Shenault at the flex. I'll go with Shenault. I have Shenault at 30 and Claypool at 31. Tucker, Jonnu, or Zach for tight end. I'm assuming that's Zach Ertz. We'll go with Jonnu. Not even close. Mixon or Juju in a full PPR. I'll go with Mixon there. Chark or Hardman in a full PPR. I'll go with Chark. Full PPR flex, Darrell Henderson, T. Higgins, or Julian Edelman. I'm going to go with Darrell Henderson there. Jonnu or Tanyan? Jonnu for sure. I have Jonnu at 4 on the week and Tanyan at 6. Lost my spot. All right. Hi from Germany, Patrick Shear. Hello. Half PPR, pick 1, McLaurin, Will Fuller, DJ Chark, or Tyler Boyd. I am going to go with Will. Am I? All right. I have, looking at my rankings, I have Will Fuller at 19. I have McLaurin at 23. I have DJ Chark at 25, and then I have Tyler Boyd at 28 or 29. So, yeah, I'll play Will Fuller there. If I need the upside. If I want, like, just safe production, then I'll go Terry McLaurin. Right. Cam Newton or Fitzmagic. Cam Newton for me. Half PPR flex question, James Robinson or Raheem Mostert. I will go with James Robinson there. James Robinson or Chark. I will go with James Robinson. Tyler Boyd or Landry. I will go with Tyler Boyd. Pick 1 for a full PPR, A.J. Brown, Will Fuller, or Justin Jefferson. I'm going to go A.J. Brown, and then it would be Justin Jefferson, and then Will Fuller. Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson. I'm still going to go with Lamar Jackson here. He gets the nod in my rankings. Standard, pick 2, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks, or Jarvis Landry. I will go with Marquise Brown and DJ Moore. The standard makes me want to go Brandon Cooks, but I think he just still comes with a wide range of outcomes. We just don't know yet if he's going to get the type of workload that he saw last week, or if that was like an intentional, like, one game, like, let's make sure that we make up for the week before. So I'm not going to be comfortable to plug him in over someone like DJ Moore, who could walk into more targets in this game. Tough matchup, but yet, yeah, I'll go DJ Moore and Marquise Brown. Mixon or Woods at the flex in a full PPR. I'm going to go with Joe Mixon. Pick 1, please. Phillip Lindsay, James White, or Mecole Hardman in a full PPR flex. If I want the safe and guaranteed volume, I'll go with Phillip Lindsay. If I need the huge upside in this matchup, I love Mecole Hardman. Cam and Jonathan Taylor or Kirk and James Robinson for DFS. I am going to go with Cam and Jonathan Taylor. Chark or McLaurin in a standard league, I will go with McLaurin. DJ Chark or DJ Moore, I'm going to go with DJ Chark. Higgins or Chark in a full PPR, I'm going to go with Chark there. Odell Beckham Jr. or Antonio Gibson in a full PPR, I'm going to go with Odell Beckham Jr. Miles Sanders or James Conner, I'm going to go with James Conner there. I have Conner at 11, and I have Miles Sanders at 12. So super close, but I'm going to give the edge there to James Conner. Half PPR, Devontae Parker or Terry McLaurin. It's Devontae Parker pretty easily. Christian Kirk or Deebo Samuel, full PPR flex. I will go with Christian Kirk. Standard league, Chark or McLaurin. I feel like I've answered this question like 20 times. So I'm going to go McLaurin there. Right. Drake or Boyd in a full point PPR. I'm going to go with Tyler Boyd there. Phillip Lindsay or Devontae Freeman. I'm going to go Devontae Freeman. I actually like him this week. I have Freeman at 18 on the week. I have Phillip Lindsay at 23. Just a few more minutes here, guys. Let's try to roll through these. Tim Patrick instead of DJ Moore if you are already starting Judy. Tim Patrick instead of... No, I'm playing DJ Moore there in Jerry Judy. Right, Godwin or Woods. I'm going to go Godwin there. Half PPR between Hollywood Brown or Scary Terry. Those guys are back-to-back in my rankings. I am going to go with Marquise Brown. I have Brown at 22. I have Terry McLaurin at 23. Robbie Anderson or Kenyon Drake or CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to go with, pick 2 of them in a full PPR. I'm going to go Robbie Anderson and CeeDee Lamb. Gaskin or Devontae Freeman. I will go with I'm going to go with Myles Gaskin. I have Gaskin at 16, Freeman at 18. Same tier, though. Fine with either one of them. David Johnson or Antonio Gibson. I'll go David Johnson there. Darius Slayton or Michael Gallup. I'll go Slayton there. Right. Mark Ingram versus in the flex. Mark Ingram versus Frank Gore versus TJ Hawkinson. I'll go Hawkinson there. Full PPR, James White or John Brown. John Brown comes with it. He's expected to play. I would prefer to play John Brown over James White for sure. So I think plan on playing John Brown, but make sure that you have a backup plan in place. Look for another player on waivers on the Monday night games that you can pivot to if John Brown for some reason isn't good to go. Kenyon Drake or Chase Edmonds in a full PPR. It's Kenyon Drake. T. Higgins, Laviska Shenault, DJ Moore in a full PPR. Start 1. I will go with DJ Moore. I have DJ Moore at 27, Laviska at 30, and T. Higgins at like 38. All right. Just a few more questions here. Cam or Fitz? I'll go with Cam Newton. Jonnu, Rojo, Devontae Parker, full PPR. Flex pick 2. I'll go with Devontae Parker and Jonnu in a full PPR. If it was a standard league, I would go with Devontae Parker and Rojo. Please pick 1 in a PPR for your running back spot. Freeman or Drake or Jamal Williams. I'm going to go with Devontae Freeman there. Philip Lindsay versus Justin Jefferson. I will go with Justin Jefferson. Have Jefferson ranked really high this week. All right. Full PPR flex, Boyd or Lindsay. I will go with, in a full PPR, I'll go Tyler Boyd. He gets a slight edge there. DJ Chark or Tyler Boyd, I will go with Chark. T.Y. Hilton or Christian Kirk, I'll go with Christian Kirk. Chark or Cup, I will go with Cup. Jefferson or Juju, I will go with Justin Jefferson, actually. Trying to find a question that I haven't answered yet. Tyler Boyd, David Johnson, or Devontae Freeman. In the flex in a full PPR, I'm going to go David Johnson there. Yeah, I'll go David Johnson. Full PPR, James Conner or Jonathan Taylor. I will go with Jonathan Taylor. Drake or Singletary in a full PPR. I'll go Kenyon Drake in that situation. Not very high on Singletary with Zach Moss coming back into the lineup. And last question here. Let's make it a good one. Kirk Cousins or Gardner Minshew. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins. Very, very high-scoring matchup. Very high over-under. Could go off in this game. And, so I'll go with Kirk Cousins. Although I do like Minshew. Both of them as top 12 options. I'll give the slight edge there to Kirk Cousins. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for the last hour on the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. Before you head out, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on this video if you have not already. And then, again, you can find and follow me on Twitter at KyleYNFL. And also on Instagram at KyleYNFL. Please reach out. Ask your questions. I do my best to get to every single question that you guys ask me. Know that I get a ton of them, but again, I do my best. So, guys, thank you again so much. We got football kicking off right now. Go enjoy it. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.